Back with more Buffy. This is episode 18 of season 6, and yeah, we're getting really close into the season. Very, very excited to see where we're going to take this whole kind of plot line next. I feel like we're really going to start like escalating things now as we head towards a finale of some sort. Still not quite sure where they're going to head with things. I imagine the trio are just still going to be up to all that kind of stuff. Maybe Anya is going to be a vengeance demon, I don't know. They seemed to hint at that at the end of episode 16. She wasn't in the last episode, so I don't know. That could be a thing. And yeah, there's lots of different kind of avenues they could take with the rest of the season. So I'm very excited to kind of find out what's in store and how they're going to wreck me, as they do tend to do in this show. So we'll see. I mean, they literally had an episode this season called Wrecked, so by definition, it's what they do. So yeah, very, very excited to see what's going to happen next. So let's get into the next one. Oh.
We're going to lose them.
I almost would have preferred seeing them like try and just be slayers themselves like this and be a bit hapless, and that gets in the way of Buffy. Speaking of...
I tried to kill my friends, my sister last week. Guess how much they hate me? 0. 0 much. So I'm thinking, sleeping with you? Deal, deal.
True.
In that case, why don't you sleep with me again?
Because I don't love you.
Oh, shit.
She's just a friend.
Aha!
Friends are nice. Coffee. That's who are just friends.
For now. It's happening, guys.
How about the pet store? You didn't take anything from there, did you?
A pocket full of goldfish, and it didn't work out. Oh.
Okay, good. We can go and we can look at all the puppies.
Okay, I'm jealous.
You returned all the stuff that you still had, and we're paying for the rest.
I'm paying for the rest. We'll figure it out.
Oh. Progress. Good.
Get back. We'll be better than an ex-girlfriend. What did you say? Just let me work.
What do you think he said?
I'm about to get us everything we ever wanted.
I'm glad that Jonathan's like, I'm in too deep.
Kinda sorry for him. That's a weakness. Okay.
So it's the guy who targeted his ex-girlfriend because she didn't love him.
If you had been more self-aware, you would have what? Been able to stop the wedding?
No, it's not like that.
Oh, heckins.
Okay, see, I love you so much. I'm just trying to be honest with you.
Yes. Honesty now. Congratulations, Xander.
Oh,
I'm being
God.
honest.
I wish we could just go back to the way things were before.
And I wish you were never born.
Oh no. Whoa.
I wish you had tentacles where your beady eyes should be.
Oh, she's not working?
I wish your intestines were tied in knots and ripped apart inside your lousy gut.
Anya.exe stopped working. Is it because she still loves him? She can't
Aunt!
torture him or something?
There was no...
You could try getting someone to make the wish for you. I suppose.
Uh-oh.
Why don't I come patrolling with you tonight?
Oh, and then maybe we
Oh,
can
boy.
invite over some strangers and ask them to feed you candy.
You guys went out patrolling every night when you were my age.
True. But technically, you're 1.5.
It's true.
Dawn, I worked very hard to keep you away from that stuff. Okay, I don't want you around dangerous things.
Cut to last week in the basement.
It was under her wig?
Well, it was this thing. It just came out from inside her head.
Well, that's disgusting. What did it look like?
Oh, yeah.
We've been so worried.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I don't think he could feel any worse.
Let's test that theory.
On his
I've got a theory.
Wish. As in, I wish Xander. Right, that word. There's vengeance demons out there that are still active, remember? Any I wish...
There are.
Horrible grossness. Give me, for instance. Let's talk about torture. So, tell me more about wishing Xander's brains and guts would go bluey.
I don't think she really wants to like hurt him though. That's the thing.
I swear I didn't say...
Don't you wish guys like that? Whoa, guys? I've only been 4. 3 guys. That's barely... What kind of lesbians are you? If you love men so much, go love men!
Oh, Anya.
Hurting.
They all still love you, even after what you did to me.
Anya, wait.
Oh, boy.
I'm not crazy about that idea.
And I'm supposed to what? Walk away? Shouldn't be too hard. That's what I'm good at, right?
Oh, no.
See, that's exactly.
Oh, no.
The part is probably not your. Did Willow put her there when I was dead? Because if I had known, I would have called her sooner.
Was it the nerds?
Oh my god.
Who likes to hang out in her yard and keep an eye on her? Who's in love with you and not getting any?
Come on.
It's a camera.
Yeah, I got that part. Why?
Surely your first thought with that tech would be the nerds.
No matter how hard you try to convince yourself it isn't, it's real.
I think it is. For you.
I think Cecily rejecting him just started a bad spiral, made even worse when he lost his soul. He's kind of like a vengeance demon against the women who's wronged him in the way Anya is against Xander.
Just stumble upon someone who doesn't give a fig's ass if Xander gets hurt.
Hey,
Oh no.
I need to think.
But if it's not Spike, I think we already know who's behind this.
Makes sense.
Uncover. There. That's it. That's where we have to go.
Well, now that we found out where we're supposed to go.
Whoopsie.
All I wanted was to use him and lose him. Hadn't had a good tumble in 1,000 years.
Me too. The using part. I just wanted to know what I was missing. Move on.
And he was all bumpy, in the right places, and nice to me.
She was so raw. I never felt anything like it.
It's kind of cool that they've paralleled it with these two.
There are other cameras.
Screw him!
To the rafters.
I don't like these two getting very drunk talking about how lonely they
I
are.
did everything for that man.
And there are more cameras.
Drusilla was always straightforward. Didn't have a single buggering clue about what's going on in front of her. But she was straight about it.
Spike. Oh,
Oh my god, the Entropy
no.
Palace? Bronze?
Oh, they're gonna bang, aren't they?
This all feels good to be with someone who understands.
Intimately.
I think it's gonna be a bit more intimate in a minute.
What if he never wanted me?
Oh, that's not true. Stop it. No. Nah. Each other. Ah! Oh god, and they're gonna turn on a camera there and... Oh no, 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 no!
More
Oh dear. Spike just doesn't like having sex on beds, does he?
Is that the camera the magic box? Oh my god. What are they? Oh. Is that Spike?
Oh, it's in the skull.
Wait, Xander, no.
No, ah!
Oh god.
Hey guys.
Dawn, shield your eyes!
What's up?
Spike's up.
That's enough.
Here, let me just... You know, we aren't even really sure what
Uh-oh.
we're seeing here. There could be something...
Uh-oh, has she worked it out? Oh no. Walk through the fire. I mean, he just punched Spike in the last episode, and that was before he slept with Anya, so...
So, you and Spike? And a lot of monsters.
Good God. Spike, you always like making a mess. Oh dear.
Xander, no, stop it! Stop it! Stop it! I felt bad and he was just there.
Didn't take long, did it?
Oh boy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but that's what you wanted for him, but... Ah!
Because he was
You left me, Xander, at the altar.
Yeah, I get that as well. It's not like... Ah!
bang the first body you can find.
It would hurt less if it was anyone but Spike.
You, get off touching me! For you to spend your whole life telling is that you are just a scared, insecure little boy.
I look at you, and I feel sick.
Oh no, come on.
Because you had sex with that.
I mean, I don't think she should have told you. It's just the camera.
It's enough for Buffy.
Shut up and leave her out of...
Xander.
It's like that scene in Friends where they keep screaming these revelations.
I don't want to know any of this.
No, that's fair. Goodbye to you.
It's a long, important process. Can we just skip it? Can you just be kissing me now?
Aww, yay! Oh, thank fuck something went right. Oh! Yes! Make out! Oh, what a good way of ending it after all that. Okay, that was a really great episode. I really liked that one. They should have ended it with them like re-recording the song from Taboo the Vampire Slayer. It's like, hello to you at the end. That'd have been great. But I understand that's not her song, so what can you do? Anyway, yeah, I really liked this one. It felt like not easy viewing because obviously a lot of revelations came out. A lot of things came out actually. But I don't know, it's just like a really like easy, I can take all this in kind of episode. Maybe I'm just in a good mood, I don't know. But I really, really enjoyed all of that, and I think they addressed a lot of things that have been happening throughout the season. I liked it because it was almost cathartic to finally have everyone like find out a lot of what most of the characters have been keeping for most of this season. I think that was good, that even if it's still going to be a bit difficult for them to process all these revelations and stuff, you know, Xander finding out about Buffy and Spike's definitely not going to help on top of everything that's going on. But I think it also helped with that ending. It makes me nervous ending on a happy note with those two because, of course, something's going to go wrong because it's a Whedon show. But I'm really glad. They could have easily ended it with... They could have done that a bit earlier, like Willow and Tara kind of getting back together, and then they could have ended it on that shot of like Anya like cleaning up the shop on her own or something, or Buffy sat alone on a bench or whatever. But I like that they did choose to end it on the reunion. Because, you know, Taboo the Raza kind of ended on like a little musical montage, and it was Tara when they're breaking up. So it was kind of nice that we had a similar kind of thing again, but it was them getting back together. I loved what Tara was saying about, oh, it's a really long, important process, can we just skip it? Sometimes you just have to say screw it, because life's too short. And if you're Anya and Spike, you certainly say screw it, because life's too short. Or screw each other, because life's too short. So I really liked that ending, and I liked seeing Willow and Tara throughout the episode have these like, moments of levity and lightheartedness when everything else was going on. It was more like a wholesome kind of plot line with those two. You know, reconnecting, getting coffee, and then the little scene with Anya and everything. That was just really, really nice to see them find their way back to each other, and that ending was such a sweet and wholesome way to end the episode. I'm looking forward to seeing the further trials and tribulations they're going to have to go through now. Maybe they're going to be like, we're back together now, we're going to sort this shit out for everyone else. We're going to get everyone else back together and sort this mess out. You know, a real big thing with this season, when things really started to escalate and go wrong, was Taboo the Raza, where Willow and Tara broke up. That really led Willow on an even more downward spiral, which, you know, happened when like smashed and wrecked and everything. In the episode after Taboo the Raza, when they broke up, is when Buffy started sleeping with Spike. And then alongside that, you know, the Xander and Anya thing's kind of been going for a little while now. So it's kind of cool if maybe that's going to be the direction they take it in. Maybe Willow and Tara are salvation for everyone this season, or maybe they'll be like instrumental. Oh shit, I nearly knocked everything over. Bye bye. Maybe they're going to be like instrumental in stopping whatever the trio's got planned, because they were tracking something down on a map, then they set the map alight because they just, I don't know. I get the haplessness joke and everything, but if I want to take them seriously, they need to get more right than just that. And I just feel like how crazy it got in Dead Things with them and Katrina's murder and everything. I like that it's still they're still exploring with that, how it's really affecting Jonathan. But I get maybe the others would want to just pretend it didn't happen and forget about it and everything like that. But I feel like we should explore a bit more of like the trauma that they must be going through it. And the show's so keen to explore traumas of the characters. I think it'd be interesting to have like Warren, like when he gets a moment alone in like a bathroom or something, and you just like see like the guilt on him or the weight of what he's done. Maybe he's just a son of a bitch. He doesn't care that he murdered his ex-girlfriend, but I don't know. I feel like it's glossed over. I feel like maybe not for the characters, because inside they're still really struggling. I like they are showing that externally with Jonathan, because he kind of wants out when they've achieved this next big goal, which is nice to see that he does have a conscience. But I don't know, to me it just feels a bit glossed over with the other two, and with Warren and Andrew. And maybe that's the point, but I feel like I want to see a bit more of it, because Andrew was really struggling with that. And he was like, oh, we got away with it, that was kind of cool, and then he was just fine, and I feel like that wouldn't be the case. But maybe he just doesn't have a conscience. I don't know, it's kind of interesting. Maybe they're soulless, those two, and that's why they're not kind of, is really bearing down on them, which would be an interesting comparison with Spike. But either way, I did enjoy most of the trio scenes for the most part, and I'm looking forward to seeing what like their next plan is and what their big kind of plot is and what they were tracking down and everything until they set the map alight. And even at the start when they had like, their cycles with Spikes on hunting down vampires, that I think would have been really interesting to see them try and be like slayers themselves, because we saw Jonathan before cast a spell to make himself the hero of the story, make himself like a slayer or whatever in that role. He was kind of Jonathan the Vampire Slayer and everyone loved him and everything. It would be kind of cool if that was their like big goal when they were first introduced this season. They were trying to be like their own kind of hero. Maybe things escalated from there. You know, maybe then in trying to save Katrina, maybe the way they spun it on Buffy, like trying to frame her and making her think that she killed Katrina, maybe in defending Katrina from vampires they accidentally kill her or let her die or something, because maybe they're like afraid. And the fear got the best of them just as vampires were attacking, so they actually just left Katrina to die, and that was a big dark turn. That was like the moment for them. So I just think I would have maybe liked to have seen them try and be their own kind of heroes, and it was just a bit hapless, and it all went wrong, and that's what got in Buffy's way, and maybe I'd find that a bit more interesting, I guess, than just them being mostly shit at trying to be villains. It's just, I don't know, it's just a joke for me that can't span a whole season. And I get Dead Things was a big turning point, but I feel like that's largely gone unaddressed and just swiped under the carpet. And I get that's probably the point because of them covering up Katrina's death and everything, but I just don't find that particularly interesting. I feel like they easily could have carried on exploring the downward spiral for all of them, not just every now and again Jonathan makes like a snappy line about it, or he looks kind of sad for a moment, and the focus is never really on them and what they're doing. You know, there's always other plot lines going on. I don't know, I just think that might have been a better way of going about things, but that's just my personal taste. I know there are people who really like the trio and what they're doing with them, so I'm excited to see where it's going to go and what their big plan is, and I can't really judge them as like a series long or season long villain until I've seen like the whole arc play out, I would say. So we still have 4 episodes, and I think things are going to escalate further, just like Dead Things did with them, because that made them a lot more interesting to me. But then they kind of, I don't think they realised the full potential of what they could do with those characters after that, and how they could explore what happened there. They just gone back to being, ha ha ha, we're nerds who do this weird stuff. I don't know. It is what it is, but I'm looking forward to seeing them kind of continue that arc. And what else? Seeing Halfrick again. We're seeing a lot more of her than I thought we would, but I kind of wish they also did a bit more of the thing between her and Spike, because apparently, you know, Halfrick's supposed to be Cecily. That'd have been cool when he like walked in, they had a bit more of a thing. But still getting Anya back, seeing that she's become a vengeance demon again, she was kind of struggling to get one back on Xander. Halfrick kind of giving her advice on that. That could be cool to see exactly what the plan is with that long term. Maybe if they find that out, maybe it would be twisted, but maybe like Buffy or Willow or Dawn or someone could be like, oh, Anya, the trio have done something bad and I want them punished, and she could like get back at the trio that way, and they get their comeuppance because Anya does something to them as a vengeance demon. I don't know, that could be where they're going with it. That could be a way of stopping them, I'm not sure. Either way, I think that it is an interesting kind of thing for Anya. And the fact that even though she was a vengeance demon again in this episode, that wasn't really the focus. It was still about what she went through and her feelings. I really liked that. And that little montage of her like talking to loads of different people, trying to get them to wish bad things on Xander, was quite funny. In a morbid way, because you don't want her to succeed, really, because I don't want Xander to get hurt more than he already is. But again, it's a very complicated thing because you can see both sides of this whole situation with those two. I feel bad for Xander and everything and how he was raised, but he shouldn't have just left her like that, because that's just mortifying. I get Anya being angry about that. And the whole thing with Spike and Anya, they really signposted it like 10 minutes before it happened. I feel like they were really dragging out that revelation where Willow was like cracking the cameras and like, oh, there's another feed here, and they were building up this thing with Spike and Anya. Just the inevitability of it, you're like, oh my god, it was just like, oh, just get on with it and let me suffer. They really did drag that out, and I think if I'd gone on a bit longer, I'd have been like, oh, come on guys, you're just milking this now. I know what's going to happen. But I feel like they were building it up well enough that it was just like uncomfortable to watch in a good way, because you knew what was coming. But yeah, it was kind of cool how they did parallel what Spike's going through with Buffy with what Anya's going through with Xander, and their feelings about them and everything, and how that kind of brought a bond about between those two. So we don't get a lot of interaction with those two really, but it did actually make a lot of sense how they kind of found that common ground, and I hadn't really realised that they had gone through very similar kind of journeys from an outside, like generalised kind of point of view. So I thought that was really cool how they kind of merged those two together, and then obviously they got really drunk and everything, so that's right, why things really escalated there. But viewing it on a camera, I guess it's kind of like, oh, of course, that's how people find out, very dramatic, it's a TV show kind of way. But I think they kind of made it work, and it was a chance to explore some very complicated and very human feelings there with Buffy and Xander, seeing that happen and play out, even though Xander's actions had kind of caused that distance between him and Anya anyway. Buffy kind of called things off with Spike. And while I do think it's valid for them to feel upset seeing that, I don't think they should have held it against the two of them. They shouldn't have held it against Spike and Anya, personally. Because, you know, things were kind of done. Xander and Anya were kind of estranged. So I don't think you should necessarily judge them for that. You can be upset, of course you can, but holding it against them in that way, even though it's kind of what they should have wanted, you know, like, oh, it didn't take you very long to move on. I was like, well, that's what you wanted for him. So again, it's a very real and human kind of thing, I think, to feel that. So I did like that they had that happen with Xander and Buffy kind of being a bit angry and then annoyed, a bit jealous of what went on with Spike and Anya, because I think that's a very human, complicated emotion, and sometimes you can't switch that off. So I did like that they kind of explored that. It wasn't just like things are fine, but at the same time, I don't think you really should be judging them for their actions. I mean, as disturbing as it was to watch, don't get me wrong, hopefully that's it, and it seems to be a one-off. But it just caused even more pain and complications, and I like how that kind of brought about the revelations with Xander finding out about Spike and Buffy, and that was another kind of thing that's tipped him over the edge. So how he's going to deal with that reveal should be interesting, but him like just going ham on Spike was quite something there. And I did think it was interesting that Buffy ran over there and like pulled Xander away and was like physically trying to stop him from hurting Spike when he was about to go and kill him. She doesn't want Spike dead, so that's nice. And yeah, Dawn kind of working out what was going on between Spike and Buffy, that was really nice. I really enjoyed the Buffy and Dawn scenes actually in this one. Them trying to like bond, talking about her stealing things and the fact that Dawn's kind of making amends for that, returning things, paying them off. And Buffy trying to make up for the events of the last episode as well, kind of overcompensating a bit. I thought that was really nice, kind of seeing them make a lot of progress in their relationship in a similar way to Willow and Tara making big progress in their relationship as well. They kind of had Buffy and Dawn alongside that, and I really enjoyed them kind of exploring that side of things with those two. Some very wholesome scenes there. It's nice to kind of see them growing closer again, really, after everything they've gone through. And so that was all cool, trying to see Buffy be the uncool mum to a 1.5-year-old sister who's actually like 16 or whatever. So I did enjoy those scenes, and Dawn kind of saying, you should have told me about you and Spike, and she was very level-headed and understanding about it, which I really liked, because sometimes Dawn can go off the handle a bit, and rightly so, because she's still very young and teenager and rebellious and all that. But she's had a good relationship with Spike in the past as well, so I think that's why she kind of took it a lot better than Xander did, because he's always hated Spike, really. So that was all good. That was all really cool, seeing Dawn's reaction to that and her finding out. Just a supportive relationship Buffy and Dawn had in this episode was really great to see, especially because so many relationships were kind of being tested and falling apart, like Buffy and Spike and Xander and Anya and everything. And coming off the last episode where Spike was really like goading Xander, and Xander punched him and everything, to then, on top of that, get this revelation of seeing him sleep with your kind of ex-fiancé, estranged fiancé, and then find out he's also been sleeping with one of your best friends, who he, used to hold a big candle for in previous years, and was rejected by her in like season 1 and everything. And the fact that he probably sees that as, oh god, she'd rather be with Spike than be with me. I bet that probably hurt as well, because you never forget your first crush. So there you go. I don't think that Xander and Buffy are like ever in that place. I don't think Xander feels quite that way about Buffy anymore. At least not as intensely, because he's in love with Anya. But that would be like another kind of rubbing salt into the wound moment for him. So seeing him kind of be like, nah, this is too much, I'm out, made a lot of sense. It's a very overwhelming kind of thing, and sometimes you can let your emotions just overwhelm you and get the best of you. Things got really, really complicated with the whole Buffy, Spike, Anya and Xander thing in this one. So I kind of like that. Going against that and working alongside that was the Willow and Tara stuff, where Dawn's not involved in that relationship, where Tara was kind of saying, can we just skip all that and just get to the you kissing me part? She was kind of simplifying it and stuff like that. So how that relationship was playing out against all the twisted and complicated things going on with the other couples in this episode, I thought that was really nice, a cool kind of contrast between those two situations. And the fact that they ended the episode on the more kind of streamlined, simple, happy pairing. It's probably a bad omen, but for now I can enjoy it. So I did like how that was kind of going on. But very, very complicated things going on with the whole Spike and Anya situation there. Yeah, I can see all sides of it, but man. Human emotions, eh? They suck, don't they? Man. But yeah, overall, really, really great episode. And I don't know where they're going to go next with this. I'm going to deal with a bit more with Xander's kind of coping with all these different revelations. How Buffy and Spike are going to talk about this. Can Willow and Tara continue to be a bit more wholesome, please? Thank you, so do you. What are the trio up to? What is their big plan? What are they tracking down? Lots still going on and to be excited for as we get into the final 4 episodes of the season. And I think when we do get back into the season, I think I'm binging the rest of the season. So I think I've got a bit of Angel now first. But then, yeah, it's 19 to 22 all in one go. Obviously it'll be 2 different cycles because we only have 3 reactions in a cycle. But that'd be exciting. So, we're in the home stretch for the season. And, man, this is kind of crazy how we're nearly at the end. Like, this season's, again, season 5 really flew by for me. This season has as well. It is kind of really amusing to me seeing comments like, oh, you're not enjoying this season, are you? Because it's taking you ages to get through. You went 2 weeks without doing a reaction, even though I was doing Angel instead, because that was my watch order. When literally looking at when I published the reaction to episode 1 to now, I haven't gotten through a season this quick before, but you do you. Anyway, I'm very, very intrigued to see how they're going to wrap up season 6, because it's been a very long, complicated season. I'm dreading reviewing this season. I'm just putting it out there. this might take... this is going to be a lot of notes. I'm going to fill a whole notebook of notes. Yeah, that's going to be even more of a movie, I think. We're going to be rivaling Avengers Endgame, I think, with when it comes to that. There's a lot to talk about in this season. Maybe I'll even do like a multi-part review, so I don't have to do it all in one go, because that'd be daunting. We'll see how it goes. Obviously I have another 4 episodes before I think about that, really. So yeah, really, really great episode. Very complicated and complex, and I like them kind of exploring that. The stuff with the trio is intriguing to see where they go with it. I love the Buffy and Dawn stuff. I love the Willow and Tara stuff being very streamlined and simple, and nice progression and happy progression there, where everything else was like a jumbled mess that you can still kind of see all the sides of. But it was, outside of like the trio's ongoing plot, it felt very much, let's focus on where these characters are now and what they're going through. Let's get all these revelations out, kind of moving the keys around, moving the pieces around before the end of the season. And I think that was just a very cathartic experience. Just take some time. So this is what they're going through. Human emotions are very complicated, especially when one of them used to be a vengeance demon, got turned back into a human for a little while, and is now a vengeance demon again. And one of them's a soulless evil vampire. You know, they still have some human emotions, which is kind of interesting. And I do like how they put Halfrick in this episode as well, and that was kind of the first woman that we saw like reject Spike back when he was William, and he doesn't react well to rejection even now, and that's probably made even worse from becoming a soulless vampire. That's why the situation with Buffy's kind of a bit, oh dear. So yeah, lots of really, really interesting character stuff in this one that I really did enjoy, and a fantastic episode overall. I really loved it, and I can't wait to see where they're going to go with it next. But my next reaction will be to Angel. I think we have 2 Angels now. I think I'm actually going to be... yeah. Am I finishing Angel? I don't know if I'm going to be finishing the season of Angel, actually, before we go back to Buffy. Let me just check, because we're definitely in the home stretch for both of them. Let me just see this, because I'm so organised. Oh my god, we are, yeah. So I'm going to be finishing it, this season 3 of Angel, and then we'll be going back to Buffy. So it's going to be Angel now until the end of that season, so 4 episodes of Angel, but obviously for this cycle there's going to be another 2 Angels. And then we'll be back and finishing off the season. Home stretch. Very, very exciting. And yeah, until my next reaction, thanks for watching.